7 a.m. on Sunday, first day of MegaWeek, and we are here at the track having fun. Getting ready to make our first pass. How's it going, E-Man?
I don't think I want to go that far.
And when I say Greece, we go
No.
I'm going to go to 3 1/4, or 3 3/4.
Okay.
From 3 to 5.
David and I have become really good friends, actually. He sent me a couple of messages and said,
Making a ride height adjustment, trying to get a little more weight on the rear,
it's all been downhill from there.
and a little bit of an oil leak that we're keeping an eye on, but I'm going to try and stick a little RTV on it to some side for now. And of course it's the fitting on the back of the block that's leaking. I think it's the collar, the actual where the fitting interface is leaking. But it only leaks under when it's sitting, not when it's actually running. Stick a little RTV on the collar and see if it fixes it. Kind of sucks it into the joint and fixes it. So you saw there on that pass, I actually broke the shifter at the kind of the base of the thread. So I'm gonna we'll pop that out, pick that collar off, and then probably have a juggernaut over there weld our shifter back together. That happened on the 1-2 shift. So the 2-3 shift was a little bit interesting, but race week things. Swapping over to the street tires now, and we're gonna get ready to go drive to Kansas City. doing a little bit of suspension R&R. We moved our spring slider brackets forward to try and get more travel out of our suspension on Monday, and we ran basically our slowest passes of the week so far, and we think we've got something going on where our shock doesn't have enough rebound, and so with this pin limiting out against the front of this bracket, the spring was actually helping to dampen the whole axle on the launch. So we're going to move our spring sliders back to their original position for tomorrow. We're in Noble, Oklahoma tonight, racing the Thunder Valley tomorrow. So I'm going to try and do that to see if we can back up our time from Sunday, first day of race week. So we're going to pop these off and get them moved back to where they should be. Pretty frustrated at this point. The car was just not being very consistent with what it wanted on the launch. We were hitting the tire too hard and trying to figure out what direction to take things, and it just wasn't reacting consistently to what we were doing. We were basically out of rebound on our shocks. So we kind of had to go into day 5 in Texas with a little bit of a new plan. So you guys keep seeing this shifter handle laying on the ground and me shifting with my index finger, and we've had so many problems. This is the actual threaded portion of my shift lever. It's snapped off. We've drilled, tapped, stuck a stud in it, welded it. I mean, I've broke it almost every other pass. And Ethan is the man. He just took and filed this thing down with an angle grinder, circular, and then ran a die over it so that we could actually screw the shift lever back on again. And I think it's gonna work. We're gonna make our second pass at Texas Motorplex this morning, and I'm super excited because we've actually kind of got the two-step, or sorry, not the two-step, kind of got the 60-foot working. We're gonna see how our we got a timing ramp in it now to actually pull some power away to get get the rear end to settle down, and we've got the rebound on the shocks max. So we're gonna see if we can take off way better. And my first run fell apart because I missed, we went like a 164 60 foot, which is pretty good for this car. But I missed the 1-2 shift because my shift lever was foobar. So looking to make this next run better.
What the hell? You got it first try?
I don't know what the hell you have so much trouble with. Yeah, they're definitely tighter now.
Yeah. If this is our issue the whole time, I'm gonna freak out.
I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah.
Big mad. We leave the shocks.
Huh?
We leave the shocks.
Yeah. I think we do.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop this wheel off quick.
Because realistically, they're at the same setting that we ran the 157, right?
All the way up.
I think we were 2 clicks back, but
Yeah, maybe.
we were 2 clicks back.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pop this wheel off quick.
Alright.
194 to 60 foot.
2 wrench flats, he says, instead of putting tape on here with an arrow to figure out how many degrees we're going. So, George had the fantastic idea. I don't know if he filmed this or not, but put a notch that locates on the frame rail a little bit, and then we got these pins, quick detach pins for holding it on and off. Well, the sheet metal in the frame rail is getting egged out, and so this was our quick fix of ratchet straps, because we're sitting here bouncing with the trailer. Didn't want that to fall off. And then he's got a leak in his rear end. Sounds like a personal problem, but
Hey, you wanted to stop at Taco Bell last night.
no, you did.
No, well, it was mutual.
Same guy who put the Caltrax on in a way that they're harder to address. It's all George. It's only seeping a little bit.
1727.
See, it went up in the wheel well a little bit.
004.
It's no bueno. Did you look at it yet?
No.
Not. Maybe got like a little dribble.
With the lights 1386 at 100.
It's really good for the pads.
The rear end still rotates and it doesn't make noise, so I guess we're ahead of where we were on day 5 of MegaWeek.
In the 13.0 category, has run 13.003 on day 1.
Yeah, it's not like
13.027
it's not good,
on
but
day
it's not
2,
terrible.
and 13.36 with a 5.
See, obviously that's why we're gonna have problems. There, we just gained 5 miles an hour. Ew. Let's go!
Back!
Oh, nice job, dude.
Finally.
What's that 60?
154.
Okay.
154, I think I was at like 75% throttle when I took off.
For the launch?
For the launch, yeah.
Really?
I think that's what did it.
Alright.
So, I mean, it worked. Oh.
The last day was definitely the most eventful as far as parts failures. We had a fried fan controller that we thought was causing the R5 to overheat, but it turns out that the radiator was just kind of getting plugged up with rust and crap. And then we had a broken rocker arm, which caught us by surprise too. But of course I didn't get any video of any of this because in the heat of the moment you're kind of just focusing on getting home instead of shooting video. But we did make it.
Thank you. Did it.
So we made it into the quick 16 shootout. I'm racing the guy over there with the Fox Mustang with the turbo LS. So, said he's been running 10 O's this week, so it should be a pretty good race. We will see. But kind of a neat setup they got here. So we've been back for a couple of weeks now. Got the car all back in the garage and pretty happy with what we were able to do with it over a week. Surprised got the rear end apart. Just looking at axles and figuring out what's wrong with that wheel seal. Turns out the wheel seal, while it is leaking, is more due to the condition of the axles and kind of all the hopping and jumping around that you saw the rear end doing. If you can see, I'll actually all the lug studs are on this axle are bent. This is the driver's side axle. And this wheel bearing is actually hooched, and all of the splined end is all twisted up. So this axle's had a very short life, about 14, 16 passes, something like that. And probably getting some new axles, and kind of trying to, that's the next couple months is going to be figuring out how to settle the rear end of the car down and kind of get the thing to leave like it should. But otherwise, engine's good. I do have that rocker here that we broke. I forgot to get any video of it, but this is the aluminum rocker that broke on number 3, the exhaust rocker, which is not, it's not uncommon. And nothing wrong with the actual rocker itself, it's just a fatigue failure. Aluminum rockers inherently, that is their downfall, is they do have a fatigue life. And I have no idea how many race miles are actually on them. Evernham bought them new probably, and then the guy before me raced an unknown amount of time, and then these rockers did drag week of last year and then most of Rocky Mountain Race Week this year. So they've got a lot of time on them, and it's not uncommon. But anyway, so 3rd place finish. Really happy with what me and Ethan were able to accomplish with this car in a week. We were getting kind of frustrated there the middle of the week, but ended up pulling off a new personal best last pass of the day at Texas. So anyway, coming up, I've got Cummins is painted for the Project Twister truck. I'm just waiting on some bearings and gaskets for that, and then we'll be putting that together. And then I've also got another project that you guys haven't seen yet. I just got this block back for the next step of my R5 project in the Duster. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Drop a like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for following along, and stay tuned for what's coming up in the next couple weeks.